Hey man, I might have to adjust this light a little bit or something. Dude, so the tuna fishing was not good. I tell you why, because the weatherman lied big time. Um, it was supposed to be. Sorry, I'm just adjusting this light. It was supposed to be uh 3 to 4 mile an hour winds and like 2 foot seas, and it was not. It was probably blowing close to 15, and it might have been 2 foot seas at first. As soon as we got out to the blue water, like as soon as it dropped off to like 100 and something feet, the waves. I took my bay boat. The waves were as high as the T top. I mean, the waves were. We were like doing like this right here. So I turned the boat around and we went back in, and we just ended up um, fishing for bull reds with. I had spinning rods on my bay boats. We just ended up catching some really big bull. In fact, it's I've already put the video on YouTube, but we just ended up catching some big bull reds on spinning rod because with my bay boat, obviously I couldn't go super shallow to actually fly fish for them, so we just used spinning rods and caught some big bulls. But yeah, the weatherman, they were off big time that day, so we didn't get to do it. And yeah, and since then the weather has been too windy, or I've been booked. I've been fishing the past 3 days in a row now. I've been having charter trips, um, so that's why I haven't been tying flies or whatever. I just been super tired when I get home. But tonight, I took like a little half a scoop of pre-workout to give me a little caffeine. So I figure I'd tie for a little bit. I got to fish tomorrow too, though. But tomorrow's like my last day of fishing this week, as far as I know, unless I get booked. So since it's the last day, even if I don't get a lot of sleep, I can push through one more day of fishing. But so I just thought I would tie. I'm gonna tie some white flies. We've been catching a lot of fish lately on like a because the watercolor's been a little dirty. The wind's been kicking like the wind's been kicking on like Bruce Lee on steroids here. Um, so the water's been a little dirty. So we've been catching most of our fish on like white flies. So I thought I'd just tie some white flies tonight. So so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna tie up some white flies real quick just to use tomorrow. Which how I got like 3 boxes of flies, but I like tying. But I'm gonna go try for some tuna on fly rod, man. They've been catching them pretty close in, like 7 miles off the out of the pass. So I'm gonna go do it. I might get spooled on the. I've been low pressure. Oh, okay. Oh, well, you haven't been doing good with That's better than high pressure, right? I mean, y'all been catching them or what? Or is that not good there? I don't know how it is there. Oh, stormy. Gotcha. So here, down here in the south, it's supposed to be cold this weekend. I don't really care about the coldness part of it. I just hope it's not super windy again, but it's probably going to be windy. The wind, I mean, the coldness don't really affect the redfish as much down here as, you know, I mean, I can still catch them in cold weather. Um, it's just, you know, when it gets real windy, golly, yeah, that's tough. But you know how it is when it gets too windy, it just makes it hard to fish for them because the water ends up getting dirty or something like that. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go hit some tuna on fly rod as soon as possible, man. I mean, they'll probably strip all the line off my rod on the first fish, but hopefully I'll just get on like some blackfin or something. I hope I don't get like a 200-pound yellowfin right off the bat. You know, I'll just settle for like a 30-pound blackfin. Be cool with me. All right, I'm gonna throw. Like I said, y'all, I'm just tying some white flies tonight because um, with the watercolor lately, the water's been a little dirty, so I'm just tying up some white flies. I'm gonna throw a little bit of chartreuse and a little bit of gold on here, just to give it a little color and a little shine. What part of Louisiana? South, like New Orleans area. You know what I put on there for backing, man? I put because I just spooled the rod the other day for tuna. I put I think I put 80-pound braid on there. And I hope that's enough, but I put, or did I put? Yeah, I think I put 80-pound braid. I don't know. Now I'm gonna throw a bit of gold on here, y'all. Just to have some flash to it. Oh, thank you, Miss Shamanda. All right, I'll trim probably a little bit of that flash off in a little bit, but or I might leave it. It don't really matter. All right. I'm gonna put a couple of feathers on here. Man, I cannot pronounce that, but that's cool, man. You gotta try to get over here so you can go fish with me. Let me know, let me know in advance so I can block the days out. It really don't matter. Also, it really don't matter what time of year, because spring is the most iffy time down here because during the spring we start getting a bunch of high winds. So if the winds are too high, just it makes it tough. But other than that, usually any time of year is good. All right, y'all. What I'm doing, I cut a few white feathers off. I don't use this thick part of the feather because it's just hard to tie that. So I'm going to cut that off. So I just cut that hard part, that thick part off, y'all. And now what I'm going to do is take, I just cut 3 feathers right here. Normally I do 4, but I'm not trying to get too fancy with it tonight. I'm just going to take and put like 2 feathers on one side and 1 on the other. Just doing some quick, we call them guide flies, y'all. They might not be the fanciest looking flies in the world, but they as long as they work, you know. So just call them guide flies. In other words, they have to look good enough to catch the fish, but they don't have to look like perfect. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just tying some quick guide flies, everybody. Is that your main work, or do you just do it on the fly? Yeah, I'm a fishing guide, so I do fly fishing and spinning rod. I do, fly fishing for like redfish, all the normal inshore stuff like redfish, black drum, all that. But we, Jack Crevalle, whenever we get a chance for Jack, we fish for those. I mean, we kind of fly fish for everything. And then I do spinning rod trips for everything inshore. And then I also do red snapper. Like during the summertime, I do red snapper, like red snapper, cobia, all that stuff like red snapper, mangrove snapper, cobia, Jack Crevalle, just all that kind of stuff. So I kind of fish for all of it down here. So, all right, now y'all, I'm just gonna take some white minnow head brush and put on here. So no, I don't tie flies for a living though. If that's what you were asking, I use my flies on my charters. Yes, sir. I make saltwater flies. I've got to update my website. I've got flies on my website, but I got to update it because I don't have all my flies on there. And they work. I mean, this is what me and my clients, this is what we use all the time. So they definitely work. Oh, thank you, Blue Collar. Just doing some quick. Sorry, y'all, my sinuses are kicking. Just doing some quick like guide flies. Just flies we've been using a lot lately. I'm just tying some extra flies up. I'm gonna put a little bit of shine right around here, some crack wrap. Just to give it a little bit of shine. And then I'll tie another one, y'all. So this is crack wrap. I'm just gonna cut off a couple inches of it. You've been doing this a long time, or just fly by night? That is hilarious. Fly by night. Yeah, I fly by night on this, but uh, have I been fishing or guiding or what for a long time? I've been guiding since 2015. I took a break in between there for a couple of years, and then started back guiding. I don't know, years ago. I've been guiding for a long time, you know. So I've been fishing down here in Louisiana since 20. I'm sorry, I've been fishing down here since 1997. I got my captain's license in 2014. I started guiding in 2015, and then I took a break for a while because I had a technology business. So I had a technology business. I went back to doing that for a while, and then but I've been guiding full time, back to guiding full time for pretty long time now. You ever catch marlin? You can. I've never even tried to fish for marlin. I've never even tried to do that. I don't really have a boat to do that. I've got a fly fishing skiff and I've got a bay boat, but my bay boat is not not the right kind of boat to be chasing marlin. I would have to have a super calm day with like no wind and no waves to go out and try to catch marlin. So if y'all are new to my channel though, please subscribe, y'all. Just like every other YouTuber, I'm trying to grow my channel all the time. What's up, Owen? So just adding some glue to that, y'all, and then I'll hit it with an ultraviolet light, and that'll dry that glue. All right, that fly is pretty much done, except for I'm not going to leave the feathers that long. That'll work great for like big bull reds and stuff, which usually is what we're chasing is bull reds. But I'm going to cut about an inch of those feathers off, just because in the wintertime and stuff, I kind of want a little bit smaller profile. So I'm just going to cut those feathers off right there. So there you go, y'all. Quick, easy little redfish fly. Whatever you want to use it, whatever you want to catch on it, but it'll definitely catch redfish. About 10 years ago, we caught one by accident when I was commercial. Wow. 4 hours later. Golly. Yeah, I mean, 1,500 pounds. I'd like to see somebody catch a 1,500 pounder on a fly. Oh, my Lord. I don't even know. I mean, maybe that's possible. I don't even know if there's fly gear possible to do that. 19-foot Glass Pro. Golly. That's crazy. All right, let's tie some more. If you're just joining, y'all, I don't just tie flies. I tie flies a lot, but I'm a fishing guide in Louisiana, and I tie flies because that's what we use. So I think I'm gonna throw some chartreuse eyes on this one just to do something different. I'm just to change it up a little bit. So I'm just gonna use some chartreuse thread on here. On this one right here, I'm gonna go with a smaller set of lead eyes. So it's just gonna sink a little bit slower. When you're fishing for redfish, you do want that fly to drop down in front of their face because redfish are normally looking down. But sometimes you're fishing super shallow water or over the top of grass or something. You want to sink a little bit slower. But I'm gonna go ahead and throw some smaller lead eyes on here. So this fly is just gonna sink a little bit slower. With it being wintertime down here in Louisiana, um, just like everywhere else in the winter, during the winter you get a lot of northern wind. And when you get a northern wind combined with an outgoing tide, especially a strong northern wind, it pushes the water out of the marsh. So the marsh might be, you know, normally this high. When you get a northern, the water, I'm just giving you a reference. When you get a strong northern wind and an outgoing tide, it's going to push that water out. And sometimes areas that has water will not have any water. Like you're literally riding down a canal and looking to your right and left out into the marsh, and there's mud. It's just nothing but mud. So, um, the good thing about having super low water like that down here is it sucks all the fish out of the marsh because there's nothing but mud. So it sucks them out into like the main canals and the openings to the marsh and stuff like that. So it condenses the fish a lot. So you can just go if you get in a good area where the fish are condensed. You can just absolutely smoke some redfish this time of year. The bad thing is that if the water is too low, you can't get to them. You might pull up to a pond where you see 15 redfish back sticking up because the fish are swimming around out there in 3 inches of water, but you can't get your boat to them. So it's good and bad. I love fishing the shallow water because you can see the fish really good and it condenses the fish. But like the bad part of that is sometimes you just cannot get to the fish. Like yesterday, there was areas we could see the fish in there. We could literally see them with their back sticking halfway out of the water, and we just couldn't get to them. So, um, how do you cook your crawfish? You just do crawfish boils. Oh, thank you, Bay. So yesterday was technically my birthday, y'all, but um, I was so tired yesterday when I got home, man. I just didn't tie any flies or anything. I had a charter yesterday, but the wind was kicking, so I was having to push that boat around in high winds all day, and the water was so low that I was pushing the boat, my skiff, across mud flats. So I'm literally pushing across mud in high winds. So when I got home, man, I was tired. So Um, what part of Louisiana? Oh, thank you, Owen. I am in the New Orleans area, so I fish, you know, mostly south of New Orleans, but that New Orleans area. We're gonna put some chartreuse flash on here, y'all. It's probably more flash than I need, but I do that a lot where I put way more flashing than I actually need on the fly, but whatever. It seems to work, so. Undercover Llama. That's a cool name. All right. I think I'm gonna put a little bit of pink flashing on this one also. The beard's looking nice. Man, I'll grow it out sometimes and then it like just starts bothering me and I'll cut it off again. But thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know if y'all can see the colors on that very good because that light, but a little pink and white with some pink and chartreuse on there. All right, let's see. Let's throw a couple feathers on there again just for the heck of it. So I'm just grabbing some feathers right here, y'all. I think I'm just going to grab two. And on the feathers, like I said, but I might have new people watching, so I always kind of say it, but I'm going to go ahead and cut the thick part of the feather off right here. Don't really need that part. It's hard to wrap that thick part because it's usually just going to crack. So I just cut the thick part off. Yep. So now what I'm going to do, y'all, I'm going to take a feather. You know, I got two feathers. I'm going to put one on each side of my hook right here. And then go ahead and get them started. And then we'll cut off this part up here. And then you want to make sure you wrap this up really good. Okay. Man, I do not speak. Is that? I was gonna say it's German. I took German in high school for a little bit, and German was not my thing, man. Like I just probably I just didn't pay attention enough, honestly. Um, Now we're just wrapping some mental head brush around here, just to kind of give it some a little bit of body and some poofiness to it. But Traveler, if you look on my channel at my videos, I did post a that day that I wanted to film the tuna, but like I said, the weather was too bad. We caught some big bull reds, and I made a video on that. So it's one of my latest videos. It'll say something like "Do this now for bull reds in Venice" or something like that. I think I'm gonna add a little bit of chartreuse wrap right here around the front of this fly, y'all. So chartreuse crack wrap, and that's really what it's called, is crack wrap. Geez, that is some rough looking crack wrap right there. Let me cut that little section off. Surfing, fishing, and girls. There you go. For me, it was hunting and fishing, man. I mean, growing up in a small town in Georgia, it was hunting and fishing. Oh yeah, the pelican rescue. That was actually probably about, man, I had to look. That was probably, golly, that was probably around 2000. I don't know, man. That was probably around 2021 or something. That pelican rescue video. So I was out there fishing for speckled trout, and I saw a pelican that had a jug line hooked into him, and I tried to go there to rescue him, and he would jump up and fly across the bay, and I'd have to chase him down, and he would land. He did that like 4 times, and the last time that he landed, I picked up one of my rods, and I put a jig head on it, and I slung the jig head over the rope that was attached to the jug, and I reeled him to the boat like that, and that's how I got the jug line off of him. I thought that video would have got a lot more views, because I thought people would think that's cool, like rescuing a pelican, but I don't know if people just didn't share that video enough or something, but I would have thought it would have got more views. Man, we see some crazy stuff out here. I got some crazy videos on my channel. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, if you're subscribed, you know how it is. If you're subscribed and you click the little notification bell, every time I do a video or a post or anything, it'll pop up for you. I still have to do the fly rod giveaway. I have not ran the little contest. I still got that brand new fly rod to give away. I have to set that up and do that because I said I was going to do it when I hit 5,000 subscribers, and I haven't done it yet. So I got to do a fly rod giveaway. All right, y'all. I'm just putting some glue over the thread right here, and that'll keep that thread from coming undone whenever you start fishing. I'm not going to cut quite as much. I think I'm going to cut just a little bit off this one. Not a lot. I'm going to leave that one a little bit longer. I am going to trim some of this chartreuse off though. I kind of just want the color on the chartreuse. There we go. There you go, everybody. Just a little chartreuse and white. All right. What time is it? It's 9:30. I still got a little while. Thank y'all for the likes, everybody. That stuff really helps whenever you like it, it sends it across YouTube's algorithm, and it'll send the video out where more people will watch. I used to have hundreds of people watching these live streams, y'all. Like literally, it would be hundreds of people, but I don't know. It seems like I'm not getting as many anymore. Need a bigger setup. I want to sling some big flies. Yeah, 9 weight. Yeah, I have 8s. I got 1 9. I got a couple of 8s. I got 1 9. I've only got 1 10 right now, and I've got a 12 weight. I actually want to get like a 14 weight or something, man. Just for those tuna and stuff. I use my 10 weight here more than anything. And the main reason why is just, if you watch the channel, you'll see the big giant bull reds. So I mostly use the 10 weight just because of the big bull reds. I think to be a little bit different, I'm going to put a pink eye on this one. I'm going to put a pink eye on this one, y'all, and I'm going to put a different little tail section on there too. So we'll go with a large pink eye. Not something you want to get in real life, I guess, is a large pink eye. I was just checking. I was making sure the eyes are kind of like 90 degrees with the hook. And then once I make sure it's lined up, I'll just start doing cross wraps on it, y'all. And I don't really have a set amount I do. I just kind of do on there till it's pretty secure. And then I'm going to wrap around this way to tighten those cross wraps up. And now go ahead and run the thread down. Thank you, Owen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let's put some glue on here, y'all, over that thread, just to help keep those eyes from spinning around. How big a fly can the 10 weight? Oh man, yeah, it'll easily throw a 4 or 6 inch easily. I wish I had. I got a bunch of all my fly boxes are in my skiff, but yeah, man, we throw some big old flies, you know. Just getting some material out, y'all. I'm gonna put some rabbit zonkers on here. So this is rabbit zonkers. I think it's what it's called. Yeah. Rabbit zonkers. And you can get zonkers all kinds of different colors and stuff. I got a white one here. I got a little scrap piece of zonkers. I might make a little double tail on here. Dang it. Come on, Shane. There we go. I'm just doing that to mess around, y'all. I'm sure the fish will eat it. Redfish eat anything. All right. I think I'm not going to go with feathers on this one. And I'm just going to wrap this one up with some minnow head brush. What are the biggest? Oh, hey, Lone Star. I'm gonna look Amish. I know, man. I'm like the Amish fishing guide. I'm just getting ready for Christmas next year. I don't know if y'all seen my Christmas special on my channel, but y'all to look at my Christmas special I did. I don't want to ruin it for you, but look at look through my videos It's one of my latest videos, and watch my Christmas special, y'all. I don't want to give away any spoilers, but it's pretty good. Oh, the biggest fish I ever caught. Everybody asks that all the time. Probably, probably a giant Jack Crevalle or something. I've caught a bunch of Jack Crevalles, so I don't really know the biggest one because they're all big, but probably a Jack Crevalle, I guess. My biggest redfish was 47 inches long. I really don't know what my biggest speckled trout was ever. I mean, probably a few pounds or something, 3 or 4 pounds maybe. I don't know. Black drum, I don't know. I've caught so many gigantic black drum, I don't even know. I, I honestly, I done got where I don't really care nothing about catching black drum. I still do, but I've caught so many of them that I'm just kind of bored with black drum. This is going to turn out to be a little bitty fly right here. Samuel's redfish. That's hilarious, man. I'm going to put a little bit of wrap around this one and I'll be done. This fly right here is just kind of weird. I just kind of made it up as I went along, but it's kind of weird looking, but that's fine. I'm going to put a little bit of pink wrap. All right. I might tie maybe one more fly, y'all. I'm going to do something a little bit different, I think, for my last fly. Slightly different. Nothing too crazy, but... I think I'll tie one more. whatever. That one's kind of a little small fly, but all right. I'm gonna do something a little bit different, a little bit bigger profile. A little bit bigger profile fly on this one, y'all. Something that'll kind of push more water. So 3/0 hook. Go ahead and put a thread base on here for my lead eye. I'm gonna use a practical instead of fashionable. Exactly. So this one right here, I'm gonna make a little bit bigger fly. Just to move a little bit more water. So using a large lead eye on this one. And I'm not putting it right up on the eye. I'm leaving some space in between there, and there's a reason I'm doing that. All right, go ahead and wrap this one up. I need to save this playlist. I'll figure out how to do that later. Anyway. All right, that'll be good. I'm going to wrap this. Then go ahead and run a thread base down the hook right here. Throw some glue on the eyes. Hit it with ultraviolet light. All right. This fly is going to have a bigger profile. I'm actually going to put, it's just crafting fur for the body to start with. So this is just crafting fur. I'm gonna cut a chunk of crafting fur off. This stuff right here makes a mess, y'all, because it goes everywhere. And that's just kind of getting a base. We're going to add some feathers to it and stuff. Like I said, I'm just going to make a kind of a bigger profile. I think I'm going to add some chartreuse and some gold flash to it. Fuzzy. It is fuzzy. And it goes everywhere. Every time I get through Time Flies, my desk right here is a wreck. Alright, so putting a little bit of chartreuse flash on here. You might not even be able to see it good, but it shows up good in the water. And I'm going to put a little gold flash on there also. So, just a little gold flash. I like having some shine on my fly. What if that little bit of shine was the difference between that fish eating the fly and not eating the fly, you know? You never know. All right, and a lot of this right here is kind of about to be covered up anyway. So the flash, you'll see the flash in the water, but it's not going to be like there's 20 pieces of flash sticking out everywhere. I'm looking for an ingredient that I know is somewhere right here in front of me. I've got to go through and like straighten all my stuff back out, y'all. I'll straighten up all my fly tying stuff. I'll tie flies a couple of times and it's a wreck. The one thing I'm looking for right now I can't find. Like literally the one ingredient I'm looking for I can't find. I've got to go through and clean up all my stuff. Wow, I cannot believe the one thing I'm looking for I don't see. I'm just going to substitute literally the one thing I'm looking for I don't see. And I don't think it's up here. No. Sorry, y'all. Wait, I found it. I found it. I was looking for white marabou. Like the one thing I was looking for, I couldn't find. This stuff is super fuzzy. Not only fuzzy, it makes a mess. But it's got great action in the water. I'm trying to find a good piece, y'all. Then we use one piece of white marabou and like one piece of yellow just to set it off, give it a little color. Before I tie flies the next time, which who knows, might be tomorrow, I gotta go through and straighten up all my fly tying supplies. It is just a wreck. Alright, I think we'll do one piece of white and one piece of yellow marabou. And the way I normally do my marabou, I'll take my marabou and whichever color I want to be the dominant color, I put it on top of the other one. So I kind of want that yellow to not be super bright. So I'm going to put that white marabou on top of the yellow marabou. Just kind of lay it over the fly. And hope it don't twist on me. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. And then I'll tie this up, twist this up. It's going to give a lot of action right there. All right, now we'll take some white feathers and run a couple white feathers down through there. White feathers. Actually, I'm probably going to put about 4 of them on there. That'll work. These feathers are about looking kind of skimpy. I'm going to throw the rest of these away. I got more. I've got more feathers and I can easily get more feathers. So. All right, now we're going to do like I always do. I'm putting these together and I'm going to cut off the part I'm not going to use, which is this thick part right here. Well, it's cool. Thank you, Undercover. Now I'm going to grab, I got 4 feathers here. I'm going to put 2 on each side. I'm going to put 2 together. I'm trying to sneeze for some reason. Who knows, might be stuff coming off this fly tying stuff. I'm going to put 2 together on each side, and I'm going to put them on each side of the fly right here. Well, I got one feather trying to go rogue right here, man. Look at this thing. I'm gonna pull this one out and retie it. Not as bad. It was trying to go rogue on me. Alright. Yeah, it's going to flow pretty good in the water right there. I might trim just the tip of these feathers right here at the very end when we get done. Alright. Now I'm going to add a little bit of body right here, and then I'm going to, the head's going to be a little bit different on here, y'all. So I'm just going to put some body on here with some minnow head brush. And then we're going to put kind of a cool head on here. And that'll be it. If I was a fish, I'd... Man, you don't know how many times I got people on the boat and they'll be like, if I was a fish, I'd be in that spot, or if I was a fish, I would eat that fly, or whatever. People say that kind of stuff all the time. We went to a pretty cool area today. I've got some video from it. I just got to edit it and put it on my channel, but I went to a pretty cool area today. We went back in this, I call them, you know, we call them ponds. It's like they're like little, well, ponds are kind of openings back in the marsh. And we went back into this pond area, and it was pretty loaded with redfish. We only caught 3 in there, but we hung, or they hung like, we caught 3, but I think they hung 2 more on fly. And we took some spinning rods with us too, so they hung 2 more on fly, and they hung 1 more on spin. We did take some spinning rods with us. I mean, this time of year, I'll have spinning rods in the boat a lot also, just in case. But it was a decent day for bad conditions, because we had high winds today, and we had dirty water, so we did okay for high winds and dirty water. All right, now I'm going to put kind of a cool head on here, and we'll be done. Just looking for my supplies, you know. I have got to go through. Is it right here? I have got to go through and organize again. It's like every time I look for a specific thing, I can't find it. All right, I think I found it. Yay, I found it. All right. All right, sorry y'all. I was looking for like a chartreuse bucktail, And what I'm going to do in here, I'm not using this part of the bucktail. I'm going to use this shorter, thicker part of the bucktail, and I'm going to cut that off. So we're using this. This is just like it's stiffer down here towards this end. And I want that stiffer part of the bucktail. I'm gonna kind of set it right here on the head of the fly. I'm gonna wrap it once loosely, and when thank you, Montana. And then when I wrap it again, I'm gonna wrap it tight, and it's gonna spread this around the head. Watch. So see how I wrapped it loose the first time? I went back and wrapped it tight the second. Y'all, we have a living legend watching the stream right now. Montana, he's a living legend, y'all. Oh, thank you, Zen. I don't know, Jimmy Red Adventures. I watched some fly streaming, some fly tying guys. I don't know if I know that one or not. Montana, y'all can say hey to a living legend. Him and his dad were fishing with me and caught the most bull reds in one day out of any fishing trip I've ever done. We had 32 redfish between 37 and 42 inches long, I think, in one day. And we could have caught more, y'all. We finally quit fishing because, yeah, Montana's the living legend. We quit fishing because it was just ridiculous. Everybody was getting worn out from catching so many fish. All right, I'm gonna do that again. Same thing I just did, y'all. I'm gonna lay that on there. I'm gonna wrap it once loosely, and now I'm gonna wrap it tight. Oh, and my thread broke. That's all right. I'll pick this one up. I cannot believe my thread broke just then. I'm gonna do that one more time. It hasn't got the way I like it to get yet. It still didn't do perfect that time, but that'll be fine. That'll be good enough. Now I'm gonna take a razor blade, y'all, and kind of trim that back. After I put some wraps on there, after I make a little bit of a thread dam. Let me grab my straw. My straw's not gonna fit. That's all right. I'm putting a thread down right here, y'all, to hold that thread, not the thread, to hold this material back a little bit. I'm making a thread down. And that'll probably be pretty good right there. Now we'll tie this off. Oh, you're in Sabine Pass? There you go. Where are my tires? Here they are. All right, y'all, we'll put some glue on here and then put some glue over this thread, and then I'm gonna trim this up a little bit. I'm gonna put a little bit of glue on this side. I'm just making some flies, y'all, to use tomorrow. I got like 3 boxes of flies in my boat, but I've been using a lot of these white flies here the past few days because the water's been kind of dirty. All right, now I'm going to take a razor blade and trim this up, y'all. I was trying to find the razor blade that I already had open. Obviously, you want to be careful doing this because this is a real razor blade, but you want to get the kind that you want to have one that can bend a little bit. I'm gonna flip it over. I'm gonna bend the razor blade like this. Now you want to be careful because you can always cut it shorter, but you can't really add to it. So you don't want to cut off just crazy amounts. Looks cool, don't it, y'all? Let me show you. Trying to put my razor blade out without cutting my finger off. All right, so as you can see, I took the razor blade and I kind of rounded it, and I went back as I spun this, and it's going to round this head off, and it just gives it. It just, well, that's going to be too bright for you. It just gives it like a cool, rounded off look, y'all. Like that. I think I'm going to cut just the tips of these feathers right here off. Just the tip. That's what he said. All right, so we'll cut just the tips of these off. And that'll be the end of that fly, y'all. Kind of colorful. Chartreuse and white. It's going to push a lot of water. All this right here is going to push a lot of water. And what I mean by that, you know, fish have sensors, and they can feel. So in dirty water or whatever, they can feel water movement. So, so if they're in real dirty water or whatever, they can actually feel bait come by them. So anyway, it's going to push this fly like this. It's going to push a lot of water. It's going to move a lot of water. So that combined with that white and that chartreuse, it's got a little bit of yellow. That's actually yellow right there. So I've got chartreuse here, some white, one piece of yellow marabou, a piece of white marabou. I've got 4 feathers right here, and then I've got some chartreuse flashing like you see right there, and a little bit of gold flashing. So that's just a, there you go. Traveler said it perfect, way better than I said it, but yeah. So that's it, y'all. So tonight we tied 4 flies. This one's just kind of goofy. I kind of made it almost out of scrap material, so that's not my best fly ever. But then we tied another white and chartreuse, except this one's got some crack wrap at the front. So just a little white chartreuse fly. This one was mostly all white, except, you know, the flashing on it. And then this one right here to finish it up, just tie something a little bit different for y'all. So, but all right, y'all. Well, that's it for tonight. It's like 10:15 here. I got to fish again tomorrow. That's right. You want those reaction strikes. Sometimes the fly will literally hit the water, and as soon as it does, the redfish will charge it. Sometimes you have to drag it right by their face. So, you know. But all right, y'all. Thank y'all for watching, everybody, and please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up, and check out some more videos on my channel, y'all. Lately I've been putting out more longer videos. So if y'all want to see some fishing videos, check them out, y'all. If you hadn't seen my Christmas special, you ought to watch that one. It's pretty cool. Make sure you watch to the end of it. But I've been putting out some cool videos, y'all, so check it out. Thank y'all for watching. All right.